I'll call to order the Town of Rome Plan Commission, Tuesday, August 12th, 2025, 4 p.m. So I'll call to order, starting to my left.
Giardino here.
Dalton here.
Capel here.
Reppin here.
Hepner here.
Wiesinger here.
Okay. So we'll move on to number 3, certify the posting of the meeting.
I certify that on Tuesday, August 5th, 2025, the agenda for the Town of Rome Plan Commission meeting for Tuesday, August 12th, 2025 was posted at the following locations: Rome Town Hall, 10:55 a.m., Quick Trip LLC, 11:11 a.m., Nakusa Port Edwards State Bank, 10:52 a.m., and the legal notice was published in the Wisconsin Rapids Tribune on July 29th, 2025, and August 5th, 2025.
Okay. So move on to number 4, approval of the agenda. Do I have a motion?
Motion to approve the agenda as presented.
I'll second that.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Any citizen comments? We got any?
There were none received.
Okay. Then we'll move on to number 6 here. Informational updates, recent correspondence, current events, any announcements from anybody here?
No.
Okay. We'll move on to number 7, open public hearing. Number 7A, consideration of the final plat for Alpine Estates, first edition on 40 acres owned by TNS Land Investments to be located on 2 separate parcels totaling 40 acres described as follows: being on all Lot 18 and 19 of Alpine Estates, located in part of the southeast quarter of Section 7, Town 20 North, Range 6 East, Town of Rome, Adams County, Wisconsin.
So the town board has approved the preliminary plat. We received the final plat application, so that's why we're here today for the public hearing on this item. We were able to locate the applicable ordinance for the zoning map amendment. This subdivision, which was previously zoned as forest and outdoor recreation, is now zoned as R1 Single Family Residence District. And the final plat appears to be unchanged from the preliminary plat and is acceptable by town ordinances.
Okay, do we? Is there any discussion on that, or?
First,
Yes.
he asked the parties if they want to say anything.
Okay.
Ask if there's anybody that wishes to speak in favor, anybody that wishes to speak
Okay.
against.
Is there anybody here in the party who would like to speak on that? They can go up here. Sure.
Can you hear me?
Yep.
Hi, I'm Troy Weichelt. I'm with TNS Land Investments. We did the first subdivision. I did that as well. Our company did. So we're just here to move on and proceed with the back 40 because it went really well. So I guess if you guys have any questions for me, I guess now is the time.
I have none.
I have none.
I have a question.
Yep, go ahead.
Did you have access to the back 40 prior to the acquisition of the front 40?
Yeah, when we purchased the property, we had the 80 acres. We bought all at one time. Yeah.
Yeah, your original plan was to develop the first 40 and then the second 40 separately.
Right.
But the road access is through the first 40. Is that what
Correct.
you're asking? Yeah,
Basically,
that's what it is.
Yeah.
So all permits are done, everything's zoning wise, everything's ready for final? Okay,
Yep.
all right. Any other questions?
Just need to ask the public.
Or, yeah, any further discussion from the public? If not, then we'll close number 7A then. Thank you.
All right. Thank you.
We'll move on to 7B. Consideration of adding lake and aquatic health and management as permitted land use in the Lake District section of Town Zoning Code, Chapter 360.
So the above item is a proposed ordinance amendment which would allow lake and aquatic health management land uses in the Lake District.
Do I have any comments from the public that would like to speak on that?
Guess my question is, what initiated this change?
That's my question is, what
I can
brought
take a wild guess.
what brought this
Tri-Lakes and the permitting.
is
for
it from
nanobubblers.
Tri-Lakes or?
Jeremy, do you have any information on how this originated?
Yeah, this originated from the nanobubblers that are on Lake
Yep.
Hamelot, I believe. This was something that was identified by residents that was not necessarily a permitted use, nor were the structures meeting the zoning requirements. So this was in an effort to allow that management of the lake.
I have some questions for you, Jeremy, but I'll wait until we get into our discussion.
Do we have any further comments from the public? All right. Then we can close 7B then, and we'll move on to 7C. I guess that is closed to the public hearing. Do I have any more discussion from the public on anything? Further discussion? Then I'll close the public hearing then.
I'll make a motion to close the public hearing.
I'll second.
All in favor?
Aye.
We'll move on to number 8. Discussion and possible action, approval of the meeting minutes from Tuesday, July 8th, 2025.
I'll move approval as written.
I'll second.
Okay, we have a
Go ahead.
motion approval and a second. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Okay. We'll move on to number 9. Discussion and possible recommendation to the town board consideration of the final plat to Alpine Estates First Edition on 40 acres owned by TNS Land Investments to be located on 2 separate parcels totaling 40 acres described as follows. Being of all lot 18 and 19 of Alpine Estates located in the part of the southeast quarter of Section 7, Town 20 North, Range 6 East, Town of Rome, Adams County, Wisconsin.
I would like to remind the committee as well that there is a findings of fact with this item.
Yes.
There were no conditions placed on the preliminary.
I'll make a motion to make a recommendation to the town board to approve the final plat for Alpine Estates First Edition, including the findings of fact as presented.
I'll second that.
Okay, we have a motion and a second to approve. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Those opposed? Okay. And we'll go on to the board then. Thank you.
May I make one
Yes,
comment?
yes,
Need to ask for discussion before the vote, just in case somebody wants to
yes.
discuss after the second.
Yep. Sorry.
Just a reminder,
Yep. I'm going to learn this yet.
I know.
Okay. We're going to move on to number 10 then. Discussion and possible recommendation to the town board. Consideration of adding lake and aquatic health management as permitted land use to the Lake District section of the Town Zoning Code, Chapter 360. Any discussion?
I have some questions.
Yeah.
Jeremy, this is being asked as a permitted use. I did a little research on this, and it said out of UW-Madison, relative to their land use and zoning area, and it said relevance to aquatic management. If the management activities are primarily passive or low active, such as minor vegetation management, selective weed removal, water quality monitoring, or educational signage, these could potentially be considered permitted uses, especially in zoning districts explicitly focused on conservation or open space preservation. But then it goes on to say relevance to aquatic management, more impactful aquatic management activities like dredging, shoreline stabilization projects, fish habitat creation, or the use of certain aquatic treatments, which could be nanobubblers or chemicals, might be better suited as conditional uses. So I guess I'm making a pitch for not going according to what's being asked for, as making it a permitted use, but making it a conditional use. Because I want to know what's getting dumped in that lake. Is that,
Yeah, I was just gonna say that, that's totally acceptable. I think, you know, obviously this was a draft that, from start, you know, there was no revision or review of it other than, you know, really what we're doing right now, so, I mean, totally acceptable to make it a conditional use.
I agree with, it should be conditional
It's a
use so
good-
that we
yeah.
have some control over it.
Is this brought on by Tri-Lakes?
yes, well, it was,
So why don't we do this? Why don't we give them a chance to
well, they
counterpoint?
should have been here this afternoon if they knew this was on the agenda. They had every right to be here, and they should have been here if they wanted to speak
Well,
on it.
I
I
don't
don't
think,
believe in, we should be holding this.
I just think that they didn't probably expect to have a counterpoint here. So I would think maybe we put it on the next agenda and allow them to voice their opinion on this, why they want it, permanent versus conditional.
Want to hold it? I think, well, you can ask them, but they should
Well,
be
you
here.
wanna put a
They
vote
should have
on
been
it?
here this afternoon.
Well,
I think, yeah,
It was
they have to-
agendized
they had
like
the
any other
opportunity.
item.
I don't think it would make a difference to them whether it's just under conditional, we have, the plan commission has some authority over it.
Right.
and
That's
control of
the
it.
big difference.
And I'd like to know what they're doing too.
Right.
I mean,
I
that's
want to
just,
know
I think
whether-
that's just,
if they want to do something,
common
they
sense.
need to come before us and let us know what they're doing.
All
Not
right, then,
just,
why
there's
don't we
been
just-
too much that hasn't been said, so.
We're not
So
turning
did
it
you
down,
wanna-
we're just saying it's gotta be conditional.
No, yeah, I'm not turning it down at all. I
No,
support
I
it
thi-
100%.
that's 100%,
I'm just
right.
saying, I want to see what's going on, and I want it to come through this channel.
I thought the point that you were gonna make is the broad definition of aquatic health and what somebody could come to the,
Well, there is. The problem is the way it is, in the way it's written, there's things that says, and not mentioned.
it's pretty broad.
And that's why I brought up the things that I did mention, because it could include chemicals and some other things that I think this town should have a say in.
Definitely.
So did you want to table the item and then I can reach out to Tri-Lakes to have
No,
a
I think we should
representative?
move it
But
forward
there-
with
it would
a,
be clarified
with a
then.
recommendation.
Wouldn't it be clarified if you're concerned about any kind of chemicals? If they're here and we question them, say, hey, what's your game plan?
Since there's three of you on the board, or two of them on the board, I'm assuming that discussion will take place when we go through with our recommendation to make it a permitted use. I mean, a conditional use versus a permitted use.
And I think the difference is that making it permanent gives them a blanket
Yep, just a
approval
blank
to
check.
not ever have to come through us.
This town's given
They
enough.
do whatever they want, period.
Yep.
Conditional.
Well, they have to meet, they have to meet the they have to meet the permitted
Standards,
standards,
yes.
but
I mean-
Whatever the hell they want and not come through us.
They don't have much,
And
That's not okay.
they're a separate entity, right, and body. Tri-Lakes.
they're
They
a
are separate.
semi-governmental agency.
Yeah.
And they need this passed to run the bubblers, to place the bubblers out there?
They will.
well, it's to cover what they already did.
Right.
Yeah, we need this,
Oh,
we
so
need
it's
this
ex
to
post-
pass.
It's not the
Ex post
bubblers,
facto.
it's not the nano bubblers. If they want to come through and say they have nano bubblers being a permitted use, I don't have a problem with that. But if they want it to read the way it reads now, I won't let it go. I'm not going to support it. I can't let it go through the way it is because it gives them a blank check to do anything they want, and this town needs to know what's going on before things happen. And the people in this town need to have a say of what's being done on their lakes. And by giving it a carte blanche, that doesn't happen.
we're not approving what goes on, we're approving the land use along the Lake District.
No, we're giving them what I'm suggesting is we're not approving anything. They have to come in for a permit, and the permit means it comes before us.
So it would be kind of like how conditional use permits for short-term rentals. They used to have to come here, see the plan commission for approval. Then they had the deciding factor, so it'd be kind of the same thing for a conditional use permit. They could submit an application, but it would have to come through the plan commission for conditional use approval. It
again,
wouldn't go to town board, just plan commission.
If it was only the nano bubblers, I don't have a problem making that a permitted use because they've already got them running.
It's the verbiage.
But it's all the other stuff that could happen that's not listed, and it says it's not listed, that I said, No, I can't have it as a permitted use. It needs to come before us as a conditional use. So I'll make a motion that we forward this to the town board and say it should be a conditional use, not a permitted use.
I'll second that.
Is there any other discussion? And we'll call a vote. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Those opposed? Then it pass on to the board with the conditional use. Thank you.
And then
So-
Jeremy, would you reach out to the town attorney to have him redraft that as a conditional use, please?
Was that to me, Taylor?
Yes, sorry. If you could
Yeah,
just reach
yeah.
out to the attorney and have him redraft it to conditional rather than permanent.
Okay, no, do that.
Thank you.
All right. So we'll move on to number 11 here. Discussion and possible recommendation to the town board, approval of a permanent signage for Heartland Custom Homes. And just to remember, they just need approval from this commission only.
So Heartland Custom Homes has submitted a sign permit for a multi-tenant ground sign. The proposed sign meets zoning requirements and is appropriate for the development. A review memo was provided in the Plan Commission packet from Jeremy, the zoning administrator. The applicant indicated the structure of the sign will be framed with wood timbers, while the framework for the tenant signs will be metal. Unused spaces in the sign will be blanked out with a blank sign.
Okay, so do I have any other discussion? Anybody have any questions? All right, then we'll move forward. Do I need a motion to approve? Yeah, need a motion to approve that.
You said that this is when we don't need.
It doesn't have to go to
town
town
board.
board. It was,
So
it
just
only
approve.
came back to you because it was
They
a
just had to come back here
condition.
because we asked that we see
So
it
I'm-
Yep.
before.
I make a motion to
I've
approve
got
the,
a- I've got a question.
One
Will
question.
this be- I was looking for the lighting on the proposed.
I don't see any lighting on there. They don't have to have lighting, right? That's not mandated.
No,
That would require additional.
No, it's not mandated.
Nope.
Okay.
All right. So do I have a motion then?
making a motion to approve the, permanent signage for Heartland Custom Homes.
Okay.
I'll second.
Okay, we got a motion and a second. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Aye. Those opposed? Okay.
And then just for the record, you both seconded at the same
Yeah.
time.
okay, give it to Jerry.
Jerry, okay, thank you.
All right. Thank you. All right, then we'll move on to number 13. Discussion and possible action, update regarding possible small-scale solar ordinances.
No, we missed
Well, we
number
missed
12.
something. Missed 12, sorry.
Missed 12.
We'll go back to 12, sorry. Discussion and possible action, update and discussion of accessory structure size restriction within the Rome Town Center.
So, as requested, we have worked with the town attorney to prepare a draft ordinance change that would regulate accessory buildings in the Rome Town Center District. This is the first draft, and the idea is to discuss it with you and ensure that we do not want any revisions before we actually hold a public hearing on this item. And that would be the same for agenda item 13 as well. They're just drafts for you to work with.
I'll have some question on this, but if the attorneys want to draft it up, I can understand why it's drafted the way it is.
Yes.
First of all, I don't understand why he wants to regulate the size of the floor space rather than the outside footprint of the building, which we do for other buildings and for sheds. And then also to come up with this 650 square feet, I don't know where he came up with that, but we should be measuring the outside of the structure. It's easier for everybody to work with.
From the furthest projection.
Pardon?
From the furthest projection of the,
From the
like,
roof,
from the
in other words, from the
overhang.
edge of the roof line or from the wall?
Yep,
That's what she's
Wall,
asking.
Footprint,
It's supposed to be from the wall,
The
right?
wall.
wall. yeah.
Right.
So this is gonna be 24 by 16?
Well,
That's what I'm
a
reading.
24 by 24 is 576 square feet.
Well, I'm reading 24 feet Okay, well,
That's the height.
That's a height.
oh,
That's
my
the height,
bad.
yeah.
Yeah, because I was thinking we want 24 by 24. That's what we talked about, no?
Yeah,
Yeah, that's more common size,
that's more common, right?
and that's 576 square feet.
Okay, I got the height in there, I'm sorry.
But if you go by the square feet, 650, that would put it like 27 by 24, you get 648 square feet. That's kind of odd size.
I
but-
know. We just addressed that with our sheds having an odd size that
Exactly.
everybody had to work with. So let's keep it standard for the accessories buildings anyway.
What would be standard then?
Like 24 by 24 is 576.
576.
Oh, okay.
So
Not-
instead of
Not floor space, not floor area, but
exterior
footprint.
yeah.
So
Okay.
within regular zoning districts in the town, Lake District, R1, they do have a minimum building width requirement. They don't give a requirement for the length or the height, it's just the width itself. So you could entertain something like that as well.
Well, that restriction should not be in there. If somebody wants to build a accessory building smaller than 24 feet wide, they should be able to do that. I thought we took those out, talked about, because it was in the Rome district.
In the Rome Town Center, it's not there, but in other residential zoning
I'm looking
districts,
at
it
It's
is.
in the Lake District, for
Is it
example.
still there?
Storing long items like rowing sculls or something like that. Make it more flexible.
Yeah, Lake
The
District.
house has to be
or-
24, the residential structure. I thought we took that out of there for anything.
Yeah, I'm in the Lake District right now, and the way it reads is the building height can be a maximum of 35 feet, building width minimum of 24 feet, and then the roof pitch,
But
3
isn't
to
that for
12.
residential buildings?
huh?
That's the residential?
Residential
Well, that's-
accessory
yeah.
structures.
Oh, this is the accessory building, that's right.
Accessory.
I don't think there's accessory.
There must be, yeah, it's not. We separated that as an accessory building, right?
I didn't think there was accessory in, I
There
know
is
there's
none.
none for the Lake District
There is
other
none in
than
the Lake
shed,
District. There's a shed,
right?
there's no accessory building.
Do we allow fences in the district?
Not in the Lake District, they're not.
What was the question?
Do we allow fences in the district?
In the Rome Town Center, yeah.
Yes.
Well, would everybody feel comfortable if we just changed the square feet, 650 to 576?
Well, we could change the wording on there too.
Yeah, the wording to reflect that, right?
Should say maximum footprint,
Maximum, yeah.
not maximum floor area.
Chairman, discussion, can I come up?
Yes.
Tom Gabriel, 1032 East Queensway. We're sort of on the right track, but I guess somewhere, we still, I don't think should allow sheds that we allow to be dropped off. I still think that if we go with a max size of 24 by 24, they can still build smaller, but I guess they should still have a concrete foundation, because anything with a concrete foundation does make it permanent. And I don't know if we're after portable sheds, because some of these sheds now come from these places, they come 12 by 24, 12 by 28. I don't know if we want to see dropped off sheds. So maybe the foundation or something, just so that everybody knows this has to be a permanent structure like the buildings that are being built there. I would agree with you folks on the 24 by 24. And at that point, if a business does need a 24 by 30, they can still come before the Plan Commission again
Right.
and work through it. But for me as a business owner up there, I don't want to see it become people storing everything in these bigger sheds if we went with the 50% rule or something like that. And I would maybe add doors shall remain closed when not in use. We do want to keep the whole place looking nice in years to come. That if you're using the garage for a get-together or something, yeah, have it open, but otherwise, I think that we should be required to close the garage doors too on these future accessory buildings. But I guess my main point was some type of foundation, so we
Right.
don't have.
I thought the requirement for accessory building was it had to meet the code, building code, which requires be anchored down and a foundation. Jeremy, is that correct?
Yes, that's correct.
Okay.
So accessory is way different than when we
A
go to the
shed.
Lakes District and it says you can have a shed of
Right.
whatever, 10 by 16 now, or whatever they changed it to.
Yep. That issue has already been addressed.
Yeah.
Well,
So put it back on the agenda for next time with
Yeah.
a revision.
revision on that, okay, Taylor?
Yep.
Okay.
So what do we wanna do, make the square footage 574?
577.
576, that's,
Or 580, rounded off.
yeah, it's rounded off to 580, and then it's basically a 24 by 24.
Okay, and then we'll keep the same, language for if you want something bigger, you gotta get a conditional use permit.
Right.
Right.
Okay.
And then changing it from maximum floor area to footprint.
Footprint.
Footprint, yeah.
Okay.
Any further discussion? We'll just move on then.
So did you want to see that as a public hearing item yet next time? Or do you think we're not ready for that?
Any thoughts?
I don't think we need to come back and
No, I
have a
think-
discussion. I think we
we're
can go
good.
right to the public hearing,
Okay.
if that's all right with everybody
That's fine.
else.
That's fine with me,
I don't think we need to see it again,
right?
Pardon?
as long as the changes are made.
Yep,
We can go right to the public hearing.
Right,
yep,
Right.
yeah.
Okay.
all right. Gonna move on to number 13 then. Discussion and possible action, update regarding possible small-scale solar ordinances.
Again, this,
I will,
oh, go ahead, Jeremy.
I was just gonna say, I'll start, I think this is a pretty lengthy ordinance, in reviewing it, I mean, I could find several different items we could look at or change or revise. But I also would say this ordinance is really mirroring that, packet I provided you guys, for Wisconsin model ordinance for solar energy. And I guess I don't mind it, I think we can go with this lengthy ordinance, but I also think it's pretty convoluted with definitions and requirements that really don't matter or affect the use of it, and I think we could just simplify it. Something I will share with you is a different municipalities ordinance, and it reads, let me pull it up here. They put this right in their use regulations in their zoning ordinance, and it simply states, solar energy systems shall be permitted uses within all zoning districts when attached to the principal building, and shall be conditional uses when detached from the principal building. Solar energy systems, whether or not attached to the principal building, shall meet all yard and height requirements of the zoning district. In a nutshell, that's essentially what that long ordinance is really saying. I feel like it's a lot of words, not really regulating much.
I do have one problem if you don't include something on decommissioning. Because I think that's where the town is losing right now, and or may lose, and I think that's where we need to capture, what if somebody backs away from it? And there was some statements in there about, if it's not used for 2 years, blah, blah, blah. There also was a statement that said if the town had the right to ask for some money to be put in escrow in order to afford decommissioning to take place. That protects the town. That's what I'm looking for if we're gonna do anything with a solar ordinance.
And
Yeah.
so explain, what's the concern there? So you just wanna make sure.
So that nobody can just walk away and leave the thing sitting. It's gotta be taken apart if they either sell the building and it's not gonna be used. There should be some money in escrow for that, so that the town's not left holding a white rabbit.
So on page 7 there, Jeremy.
Yeah, and I guess, just to expand on that, so I'm understanding to help out in revisions or drafting, is the concern more so for a commercial or a ground-mounted, system? Or is it broad as in anything, residential, system attached to the roof of a home?
I would think it'd be either the pole or the ground. That they just can't leave it sit out there and walk away from it. I have no problem with a rooftop, because that's gonna be whoever buys the building. It's gonna be their problem, but definitely for ground mounted. And I think the poles should be included in that. Or we can not have poles. I don't know, can you exclude poles entirely unless it's a commercial or for a commercial?
I don't know the legal answer to that, no. And I guess my first thought would be, I don't think you could, but we could ask that question. I guess just backing up a little bit, those concerns about, having some money set aside for the town and to protect it, or to be able to decommission those ground-mounted or detached solar systems, I think that's why we would just require anything not attached to the principal building to get a conditional use permit, and that's where we lay out those
That
terms.
becomes a condition of the permit. Can you also ask for escrow at that time?
We should ask that to, to our town attorney, but I would assume we could put any conditions
Okay,
feel, necessary.
all right, you're right. You're absolutely right, Jeremy. I agree with that.
How much you talking about that, Bill?
Huh?
How much you think we'll talk about decommissioning it?
Depends how big it is.
Well, standard.
I don't know. I mean, I just don't want to see the town left with a bunch of
Oh,
solar
That
panels.
was one of the concerns we had with the,
And that is a big concern I have with what's going on with the way we're handling the solar people right now.
the ad hoc committee brought forward that same issue
Same issue, right?
this week.
And
And we were
J-
talking about that.
Jeremy, you mentioned commercial use in this. Commercial use, I mean, would that be the solar farm too? I mean, that's commercial,
No.
isn't it? No, it's not commercial.
It's too big.
No,
It's too big?
This is all geared towards small scale.
Small scale?
What, do you know what the requirements are that we can legally have an ordinance for? It's under a certain amount. Is it under 1 megawatt or something?
No, I don't know that answer.
I-
And I can find out.
I think anything over a megawatt goes through the PSC. I'm not sure if that's
There is
the
a size.
threshold.
Yeah, I think they're.
There's a size where it becomes.
It's a
public.
size, and I thought it was a megawatt, but I'm not sure.
Jeremy, have you seen different ordinances if it is in a residential area versus a commercial area?
No, honestly, I haven't, and solar ordinances seem to be very far and few, between my research and my searching through different
Yeah.
municipalities' ordinances. Most don't even have anything.
Right.
And then if someone does, it's pretty simplified, like the reading I just read you. If it's on a principal structure on the roof, it can be permitted and there's no issue there. Where they care and where the concern is, just like you guys are sharing, is when they're detached and they're either on a commercial setting or maybe
So I,
just a commercial use in general. You want
It's-
to be able to regulate those a little bit more.
says in Wisconsin, solar panel projects with a capacity of 100 megawatts or greater require a certificate of public convenience and necessity from the PSC, the Public Service Commission of Wisconsin.
These are the same things we brought up this past week. but not only the fact that they're decommissioning it, but what happens if you have hail damage? Is the homeowner gonna replace these things? And what, again, we brought up the fact, what if there's a fire?
Right.
The fire department can't use water on these solar panels.
Get down.
They have to use that foam. You use that foam, that's PFAS, right? Is that what that's called, PFAS?
Oh,
That's-
the PFAS, yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that gets
the
into the
foam.
water,
PFAS.
that gets into the water, we're gonna have a problem.
For the solar panels
Right. You,
catching on fire.
you can't use water.
On the electric, you might be talking about the battery systems.
Well, we brought up this past week, in a solar farm in, was it New York, Tim?
Yeah.
It burned for 4 days. The fire
days
department, they
straight.
couldn't put it out. And there was another one that
Was
they,
that the solar panels or was
the,
that?
the
Solar-
farm, the solar farm, yeah, the panels were
It was-
burning.
Yeah, the panels were burning. Yeah, they couldn't get them out.
So now you picture this in somebody's backyard, and we all got trees. Well, except for those around the golf course and maybe the lakes. Okay, what is going to happen? I'm looking at. We already have issues with high risk with the trees and vegetation burning. I mean, you know, we're going to have a Chicago Fire North up here.
If
You gotta remember
if
that
you're
solar
speaking-
panels won't be put anywhere where there's trees, because they don't work.
Well, yeah, well, you got to stay within your limitations there.
If you're speaking to say that you don't want them at all, you can't do that.
Right.
Right.
The state law doesn't
State
allow
law.
for that.
Yeah.
You have to allow them. So
On
the question
ground,
is,
on the ground,
yeah, on anybody's house. If I want to put one on my house, you can't stop me.
on the house, but I'm talking about.
If I want to put a solar panel on the ground, you can't stop me.
Oh, okay. All right.
It's the way that state law reads. Go and read it.
Yeah. It's true. Yeah.
You can't stop me. So the question becomes, do you want to regulate it?
That's why we're
Because you can't stop it.
generic, is because there's not a lot we can do.
Okay.
And the state steps in after 100 megawatts and doesn't even allow the town to have any say. That's when that goes to the
Yeah, that's
PSC.
when-
But I like your idea about protecting ourselves in the event that, you know, something happens to it and it just sits there abandoned.
Yeah.
I don't mind putting this on the agenda again for next time, and Jeremy providing us with the language that he had and seeing where we can go from there.
Abbreviated.
Yeah, and in the meantime, I can look around and see what I can find on some of the other places.
There's more research needed on this before we.
I've got my file in my bag.
Well, I think the intent of this was just to kind of
Get
go
it.
over it. Yeah.
Yeah,
get
but
it.
I'd like to
Yep.
digest what Jeremy came up with. Because I
Sounds-
like,
sounds like a-
simple is always better,
Yep. I like that too.
and it's plainly stated.
I will provide that, next meeting.
Okay.
That'd be super.
Perfect. Any further discussion? All right, then we'll close number 13. We'll move on to 14. Next agenda items. Well, I think we just mentioned the,
I think we just got them on there. What else what's coming up, Taylor?
yeah.
Nothing else really that has come on my radar yet, so.
Can you keep it that way?
Yeah, I'll try. I don't know if we can ever beat our record of the last meeting. That was like, what, 16 minutes?
There's always records to be broken.
Listen to this guy.
So relook at maybe the solar, is that possible, get that on the agenda then? Just
And the other
next
one
time?
we're gonna send to the town board, the,
The,
I gotta look at
What
it.
was it?
Making the changes
It's
for
the,
accessory structure.
We're gonna do the
Right,
public
right,
hearing.
right.
We're gonna
Public
do the
hearing.
public hearing for the
for the
accessory building.
accessory
Right.
buildings, right?
Can we add, can I add a note to the minutes? Guess I'd like to take a look at, solar is also often included with, battery backup systems, which are a completely different beast. And then also, if you're really concerned about fire, it's something like the Generac or the, Tesla Powerwalls, where somebody is just putting a huge lithium battery on the side of their garage. I think almost all of us are at Adams Columbia Co-op. And if you go to time of day billing, it's ridiculously cheap to buy your electricity at the minimum rates. It's like 5 cents a kilowatt hour. And put it into storage, so you could put for example, a 3 Generac power wall, and you'd be paying 5 cents an hour for electricity. But those 3 battery systems are gonna be all the water in one of the lakes to put out. So,
If you could put it out.
eventually, there's no oxygen left, so. But, yeah, so I think that we might expand this to take a look and see what we can do with
Storage.
battery systems
Storage,
also.
Storage, battery
systems.
storage.
Battery storage systems.
Battery storage, yeah. Because neither lead acid nor lithium nor whatever we can envision in the future is something that the town fire department can probably easily handle without exceptional expense.
Anything else? Any other? Taylor, just let us know if you have
I
anything.
will do that.
Okay. All right. Well, then, the next meeting date and time is Tuesday, September 9th, 2025 at 4 PM. Do I have a motion to adjourn?
I'll do that.
Second.
Yeah, motion and a second. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Jim, I